Someday I gotta tell you between the $5 fan and the 50-cent fan. No.
They get pretty.
So, good morning, how are you?
I'm doing great. Hot enough for you?
A little.
You thought you moved out of the heat.
Yeah. We've been thinking about that for the last couple of days.
We were told we were going to be able to put our new words in your out through. Perfect. I don't know.
They didn't tell you about August and September and
No.
late June, late July, I mean.
Well, we're going to be traveling August and September, so we still won't go.
Where are you going?
RV trip, national parks. Yeah, August, September, and the beginning of October.
You're going to go north.
Yes, yes.
I'm just standing there being hot. I didn't even go around and say hi. Stay cool, I hope.
Try it.
Oh, Carol's is going to wine open. Make sure you call her in on her next episode.
Can you get a fan? Oh, come on, girlfriend. That's too
So some of the areas we have left in Grand Canyon, Bryce, Zion, Yellowstone, but in between there we have some time.
Okay,
Grandpa, you don't
usually there are no hookups, so this
Good
time was
morning,
like,
everybody. Good morning. This is, I think, the hottest Sunday of the year, right? Or it's going to be anyway.
Please.
But welcome to Tehachapi Community Church, and you know the drill. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Now, you need to learn to say that. Because you never know when you're going to be up here. Welcome to church today. I'm glad some of you came out in the heat, and don't forget, we're going to have Women Who Wine today as well, and Lori will probably be talking to you about that. In the meantime, let us stand and begin our service. The world is a light, as a lamp and a light. The Word illustrates our life. We welcome the Word with praise and thanksgiving. The Word comes from the mouth of God and accomplishes its purpose. We hear the Word that loves and embraces, challenges and convicts, renews and restores. The Word is life, offers a future with hope, and creates peace in the midst of a storm. We receive the Word among us with rejoicing. We worship the Word in spirit and truth. Let us continue by singing hymn number 31, All Things Bright and Beautiful. You may be seated. Our invocation today, Creator, your presence among us illuminates our lives, makes us fertile soil, receptive to the seeds planted by your word. Nourish us with living water and grow us through the energy of your empowered and healing rays of sunshine. Let us encounter you afresh as we gather in community. May our worship show our love for you and each other. Make our presence known to us and through us for your glory. Amen. Let us continue with our prayer for transformation and new life. God, our Redeemer, the words of our mouths often lead to hurt and harm. We tear down when we could build up. We speak of death and destruction when the power of life resides in our tongues. We say what is unnecessary and unhelpful while hesitating to offer encouragement and hope. Transform our speech as you write our words into our hearts. Stir us to speak life, joy, and love in all things. Amen. Romans 8:1 tells us, "There is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus." God does not shame or condemn. Rather, the one who is holy makes us holy, restored, and whole. Receive the grace of God as it is freely given. Be empowered by the one who observes you and declares you're good. You're good. Know that you are loved, forgiven, and transformed in Jesus Christ. Today our scripture is from Acts. The apostles performed many signs and wonders among the people, and all the believers used to meet together in Solomon's colonnade. No one else dared join them, even though they were hardly regarded by the people. Nevertheless, more and more men and women believed in the Lord and were added to their number. As a result, people brought the sick to the streets and laid them on beds and mats, so that at least Peter's shadow might fall on some of them as he passed by. Crowds gathered also from the towns around Jerusalem, bringing their sick and those tormented by impure spirits, and all of them were healed. Today I'd like to introduce you to our speaker, who is Sydney. I don't know her name. Sydney Haynes. I should know her by heart by now. She is a yoga teacher, and in past years she used to teach yoga when Pastor Nancy was here. And I believe you taught that in the basement of this church. And did you teach other areas here?
Yes.
Okay, and she's going to talk to us about the practice of yoga. She is well recognized in this community for being a yoga teacher. And yoga is somewhat of a spiritual practice as well. Welcome, Sydney.
And thank you, Joanne. A while ago, I sent in a flyer to the church about our yoga class at the park. I thought you guys are so close right here, and we're just trying to offer free yoga in Tehachapi. So I sent a flyer just thinking, well, you know, that would be that, but I'm a little bit intimidated, I'll just let you know, to come up and speak in this beautiful pulpit, beautiful church. Thank you so much for having me. I think I've been everywhere here. Your recreation room, we used to have a class there long ago, and then down in the basement, it was just lovely. So, as Joanne said, I'm Sydney Haynes, and I've done yoga for about 20 years, but I've taught yoga for about 7. So can you hear me all right? Okay. A lot of different places. I think the park is my favorite. I like the basement down here too. It's really cozy and all fixed up, but so the park is just beautiful. Even on days like tomorrow, we'll be meeting, but under a tree, you know, and a little breeze blowing, it's okay. So we just do it. If it snows, well, then we go to the senior center. So we do have a place to go. So I've taught here, Country Oaks, way out Shout Street, and then Vineyard for a while, so just different places like that. What else? Nancy would come to your pastor. How many of you were here when Nancy was the pastor here? Oh, quite a few. Yeah, and she would come to the classes. So it was so fun. She really made the class nice. I'm going to just tell you, and I'm going to make it kind of short. I won't be up here very long, because I know some people say, well, yoga is not for me, I'm bored. So I'll do this quick. I wanted to say how I got started 20 years ago. A friend kept asking me to go in Bakersfield because they have free yoga at every hospital because they're trying to increase wellness and keep people healthy. So she invited me, and I thought, that's not for me. And I like jogging. I was pretty active, younger, a lot younger. And finally I just went to kind of get her off my back. I thought, well, I'll go for once, and then I'll say, okay, we're done. Well, she never went again. And I didn't stop for 20 years. I think the reason was I tend to have some anxiety issues. Maybe it's our culture too, but it's hard for me to settle down. So in that class, I was just beautiful music, quiet, peaceful. Plus, on the way home, I noticed how I felt even then, at that age. I used to have like a lot of stiffness, achy, things like that. And on the way home, I had none at all. I mean, I just felt so good. I thought, okay, I'm going to try that again. And so anyway, I just kept going. So I was just curious, too, how many people have done yoga out there? All of you. Oh, okay, quite a few of you. Yeah, nice. Oh, we got bigger. All right. I wanted to mention a few of the benefits that my class has talked about. A lot of people have sciatica, lower back trouble, neck trouble, feet trouble, and we even have people in wheelchairs and walkers so that they can do the top, the upper body things. So people have told me that it has really improved all those things. And balance. I remember my mom, when she was 100, she died right after she turned 100. And she said, keep doing those balance poses. You're going to need it as you get older. So I make sure to do a lot of balance things. So, as I said, we're at the park, or we're at the senior center every Monday. And it's almost always at the park. There's a gentleman, some of you may know him, David Hollingsworth is his name, and he's a black belt martial arts guy in town. He's always in the paper, he's a champion. He has also taught with us, and he teaches a wonderful class. It's really excellent. And I was kind of surprised. I thought martial arts and yoga, that's kind of interesting. But he said once that he wanted to always offer free, because yoga can be very expensive, even like $20 a class easily. So he said, I always want to keep yoga free in Tehachapi. So he and I decided that's what we would do. We would always have some free classes. So he also has a class. And I have little flyers, if anyone's interested afterwards, I have some flyers I can give you. But he has a class at 10 o'clock it's at the Martial Arts Building. You probably know where Domingos is. I do. I don't know of that restaurant. But it's right behind Domingos. So every Wednesday he has a class back there. And he is a professional. I mean, mine's just kind of fun and not too hard. His is a little more serious, I would say. We also offer all levels. We have people that can barely keep their arms up for, 2 minutes, which is great. I mean, they're just coming, they're doing what they can, and it's so nice because there's no competition, we just do what we can. So we have all levels. Everybody is welcome, like your church. I like your motto. I think this is your motto about how everyone's welcome. I think that's really sweet. And then Joanne asked me to talk a little bit, and this will be very little, about is there a meditation portion? Because I know that's real common in yoga. So what I do, because we have a lot of different people from different churches, non-church, whatever. So what I do is I provide a time at the beginning to do whatever you would like to do. Some people like a little, maybe 5-10 minutes of prayer before they start. Some want nothing. I just want quiet, I want to settle down. Some will pick a phrase, something, I want to forgive so-and-so, So it's really a nice time. We're just quiet, we're still, and then we just use that time. So you can meditate, it's for you. So I try to make it open to all different persuasions. Because there, as you guys know, there's a lot of different types. So that's what we do. I'm going to just wrap it up with just wondering if you have any questions about yoga or about our classes. Yes.
Just the times, what are the times of the classes?
Easy to remember, they're both 10 o'clock and they last an hour, and that's Monday and Wednesday. But I do have the flyer too. So Monday is at the park. And sometimes we're in the gazebo. One time it was raining and we went in the gazebo. It was so much fun. You have to bring a few mats so your knees aren't, Yeah, his is 10 o'clock as well. His gets packed. So we try to get there early, because it's pretty popular. Ours has gone from, at times we've had 3, at times we've had 36. So it's just always different. People are on vacation, do whatever. So any other questions? I don't know if that's about how long. What do we wear? Everybody wears something different. Right now we're wearing the least possible. Little t-shirts, little shorts, And it's nice because we're just over in it's on the east side of the park. So it's, anyway. So we don't wear much. When it starts getting chilly, then come the layers and all the stuff. So, and you don't have to have special clothes. Some people go out and purchase just beautiful things, and I've had the same pants for 10 years, I think. So, yes.
Okay, your gear, you gotta take your pad or anything you need to take?
Oh, the mat?
Yes.
Yeah. Great question. Because some people don't want to go buy a mat. They say, I don't know, am I really going to want to do this? I just want to try it out. So I always bring extra. That way people can just try it. If they don't like it, then they didn't spend the money. And so I always have some in my trunk for anybody that would like to try that. Tomorrow, I'll just say real quick, of course, you're just welcome anytime, drop in. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit different because, number one, it's so hot, so it might be a pretty small group, I'm thinking. The age range, I'll say that real quick. I would say our age range is maybe 40 to, we have a guy that's 85. So probably, that is the age range. So tomorrow we're having the class and then also a sale. My son is disabled and sells artwork, so we're having a sale during the class. So tomorrow's going to be a little bit different. Okay, yes.
From a tradition and historical standpoint, I know there's some kind of spiritual aspect to yoga. What's sort of the traditional, historical nature of that spiritual?
That's really good. I knew somebody would ask me a question that would be a little challenging because I told Joanne I don't have a certificate. I just was at the senior center and they said, you love yoga? Well, you can teach it. Oh, really? What I know about it, I think it could almost be a religion. It started out that way in India, with Sanskrit words, and it's very religious. I think it can go all the way to just the poses. Some people prefer just to stretch, and they don't do, all of the spiritual things. For me, it is spiritual. And I remember Nancy asking one time when we were all doing yoga, she said, everybody say one word, what yoga means to you. And I said prayer. I felt like this is a time where I can really, especially if I'm not leading the class, I can really connect with the Lord and be still and know that I am God. So for me, that's the spiritual part of it. But I know people go way into more of the Eastern Indian traditions, which I really don't know a whole lot about. But that's a really good question. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. What a warm welcome. Warm welcome.
Thank you, Sydney. Yoga is, for me, if Nancy had asked me that, I probably would have said inner contemplation. It's 2 words, but that's what I would have said what yoga is all about. Because you're calm, you're centered, and you think about what you want to think about or not think about. The hardest thing in the world is to be alone and not think anything. Have you ever tried that? It's not easy because your mind has all these words going by, sort of like a marquee on a theater, you know? And just to still those words is what yoga does for me. Thank you again. I believe we're going to sing a song. We usually do. Yes, number 473, Blessed Assurance. And you can stay seated for that. that all things came into being through the Word. All our gifts, resources, and blessings come from the generous God, our Creator. May we return a portion of these gifts in grateful generosity for the ministry of the kingdom. The ushers may come forward if we have two. Okay.
Two great ones with experience.
I did it once.
I'm emptying the place before it's time here. There you
You don't think we have that? It's not an order. It's not an order of worship.
I don't care when we do announcements, I just have some.
I know you do, and I will make sure you get that.
Good plan.
Okay.
It's not going to work right now.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, power's out.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Commonwealth.
Well, not all the powers
No,
out.
not all of it.
Well, nonetheless, we still have queries and concerns regarding our power and electricity. Does anybody have anything they would like to joy about or concern? And you do.
Just safe travels for Gary as he is going to Ohio for the week. So he's en route now, and then he'll be coming home on Friday. And prayers for my daughter, who beat herself in mild concussion while cleaning behind her toilet. She came up and hit the back of her
There's a
head.
lesson.
I tell you, housekeeping is really dangerous.
Yeah.
It's a
What do we say?
joy. John's with us, we're not alone.
The announcements, not the prayer.
No, we're doing prayers and joys and
Oh, okay. We're back at prayers here.
My nephew and his family have found a house. It's going to cost them a little more than they had planned on, but it's a really nice house, big enough for the whole family, and they're going to be living soon.
Oh, how wonderful.
Oh, that's
No,
exciting.
it's in Golden Hills.
Oh, good. That's really wonderful news.
So thank you for your prayers on that.
Okay.
Now we still have to get him a job at Lockheed Martin.
Well, we're still working on that. All right.
Enjoy, concern, and sorrow.
God is with us.
We are not alone.
Okay. Patrick.
2 or 3 prayers. First, prayer of concern for all those people who are struggling with this heat. The elderly, the firefighters, the homeless, all those people, and all the pets that struggle in the heat. And it's very difficult for them. So a prayer of concern for all of them. Second is a prayer of thanks to several members of this congregation for the work they did associated with putting in the new floor surface over at Friendship Hall. Especially want to thank Linda and Lori and their partners. They did a lot of work over there. I want to thank Chris for all the work he did. And there were others who I have forgotten to mention, but appreciate all the work they did. When you go over there, if you haven't been over there yet, you're going to be amazed at how much better it is. Finally, a prayer of excitement, I guess you might say. This Wednesday, my wife and I are leaving for over 2 weeks to visit family. I also will do tie-in of work with that, going up to Oregon and Washington, and we're very excited to get to see our grandchildren and so forth. So we're very happy about that.
God is with us. Yes.
I just want to do a hand to Patrick's prayer of concern and have the prisoners in the thunder.
I could tell
Prisoners in the prisons that are suffering extreme heat some places. And also I wanted to make sure that everybody realized it wasn't this Chris, it was Chris Fickus that Patrick wanted to thank.
Chris has done a lot for us, as well as you have a little bit. Okay, God is with us. We are Yes.
So my daughter returned safely home from Indonesia, so we're gratitude for that. And we're having some work done in our yard, and they're insisting on doing it in the heat of the day. So my husband and I are not always agreeing, so prayers for marital harmony through the work.
Okay, God is with us. We are
not alone.
Yes, my dear.
Yes. Traveling prayers again for Gunther as he returns to Germany next Sunday, and my daughter Julie arrives. And she will be staying with Nicholas for 3 more weeks.
Oh boy.
The traveling prayers for him, please.
God is with us. We are
Praying for my oldest son, he just got a brand new motorcycle, so mom's nervous. That he's safe.
Okay, God is with us.
Anybody else? Last call. Okay. Now we can do the announcement.
All right, let's do that. You will notice if you flip your page on the upcoming events. So next week, July 23rd, Pastor Kesslin will be with us, and the meeting is going to be, our worship service will be in Friendship Hall. If you need to move a table while you're in there, please pick it up with others and move it so that we're not dragging them. But Pastor Kesslin is going to have the whole thing organized. So as you enter, you will be given directions and lots of fun and laughter activities. So hopefully everybody will be able to be there. You also see, and there's also a potluck. So if you brought something to share, please bring it right into the kitchen. We're going to close those little doors so that we won't be disturbed during the service, and that's for July 23rd. You notice the unchurched, you will notice the next one down is the rummage sale. Anybody who has not thought about, I don't have a single thing in my home that I could get rid of, please go look again, because I have found all kinds of things. Vicki, the rummage sale genius, and Phyllis and Barry and Dave and I met at my house, and we had a rummage sale meeting. So we got a lot of good advice. Nobody's going to have their own table. It's not like Nancy Franklin has a table and that's my rummage sale stuff. It all needs to be organized and separated and sorted. So there is a sign up in Friendship Hall. If you want to participate in the preparation, that is coded yellow. If you want to be there the days of the rummage sale, August 11th and 12th, that's coded green. So please do notice that as you're signing up. And make sure your name is eligible. It doesn't count unless I can actually read it. It doesn't. We are very, very excited about this fundraiser. It's something Jim Carmichael has been encouraging us to do, and onward we went, Jim. So pretty good deal. We're also going to have a bake sale that same day. So if you are a baker, just wrap things up and bring them on in and we'll sell them at the bake sale. Barry and I are very excited to do a lunch plate special. So we will be selling a lunch plate. What's on the lunch plate to be determined, you'll have to just come. Let's see, is there anything else that I needed to say? Oh, Apple Festival. We have some great baskets already for the Apple Festival, but if you've got something that's new at home that you think is absolutely spectacular and belongs in another home and want to have it for the opportunity drawing for the Apple Festival, please let us know. Everything else I think you can see. Anyone else's announcements? That's what I think Joanne wanted to do next.
People need to price their stuff though, right?
Actually,
No?
we are going to be pricing things. That's part of the organization
Okay, so
and
you just
sorting.
bring it in and you guys.
Yeah,
just
go
decide.
ahead and put it in. Now, Vicki has said there are some things that people are donating that are actually worth quite a bit of money. So people are putting a tag on it and saying estimate, blah, 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 whatever it is. So feel free. One of the things we're donating is one of those electric fireplaces. So we're looking it up so that you'll know how much they go for used and things like that. Any other questions? All right, back to you, Joanne.
Yeah, you have any questions?
No, this is for the next announcement.
Okay. Okay.
So regarding the potential Starbucks-sponsored Pride event in October, someone recently reached out to me from Free Mom Hugs, and they're in contact with the Starbucks organizer. So so this is in the beginning stages that I'm hoping that we can have a meeting and talk about whether we want to be involved in that, and if so, how. I've let them know that the city requires a 60-day notice for a permit in October's. That would be August coming right up, and they're still trying to find a place. So if you're interested in being involved in that, talk with me after the service.
Thank you.
Lori? There are 2 cards in Friendship Hall. Please sign them. One is for Sammy and Randy, who so generously did the hall. They have just been unbelievable, even to the point of offering that they'll come back and install the baseboard. And so they are incredible people, and we're lucky to have them as our tenants. And Carol Coleman's 93rd birthday is this week, so please sign her card. Ellen, if you want to say something?
People keep asking me if there's something they can do for me. I get to go to Bakersfield on Thursday, August 3rd. So if anybody wants to give me a ride down there and back, I'd be open to that. I can get transportation through my insurance, but they send somebody up. It's a long drive for the. So if anybody wants to go to Bakersfield and take me along, it would be me. My appointment's at 1, so I have to leave around noon.
Okay, they should get in touch with you.
Yes.
Hi, just a reminder, this coming Saturday, the 22nd, the Tehachapi Mountain Democratic Club is having our annual picnic at City Park. It's from 3 to 7, and it is a potluck, but everyone is welcome. If you guys would like to come out, we have some guest speakers and some games, and we're going to have lots of food and music, so everyone's welcome to join us.
I should have said this in the prayer time, but I want to bring it up now because I forgot. And that is prayers of support for Daryl Hayes. He has just entered a rehab place in Gorman that Todd helped him get into. So we want to, lift him up and hope that he's able to make good progress in his recovery.
right, so move on to hymn 459, and please stand if you're able.
If you have a fan, there'll be a box at the back of the room.
Thank you.